This sucks. How could a show have as much potential as Lazarus, yet fumble as hard as it did? Lazarus is the long-awaited anime series from legendary director Shinichiro Watanabe, who you may have heard of from series such as Cowboy Bebop or Samurai Champloo. My hype had only increased when it was announced that Studio Mappa was going to be animating the series, and the fight sequences were going to be done by the director of the John Wick movies. The first trailer released and it was drop dead gorgeous. I was convinced there is no way this show is going to fail. Damn it. As much as it pains me to say this, Lazarus is not an enjoyable show. I might even go as far as to say that I hate it. I don't want to believe that because of how hyped I was, but I am not having a good time with this show. Let's talk about some positives first though. Going off of straight vibes, the first episode's pretty good. It's a pretty good opening episode and I had a good time being introduced to the plot and its world. Initial premise of a scientist developing a miracle drug that actually has the side effect that's going to kill all of humanity who took it is a really thrilling way to get someone hooked from the very first episode. It's also, like I said before, absolutely beautiful. One of the prettiest shows I've ever seen. I honestly didn't know anime could look this good. It's absolutely mind-blowing how pretty this show can be at times. Unfortunately, that's about all I have positive to say about this series. If I had to describe this series in a single sentence to somebody, it would be that Lazarus is all style with absolutely no substance. Once we start meeting the characters and diving into the world, the honeymoon phase of how pretty this show is wears off, and you just kind of start to realize this is really dull. So we have our main character, Axel, who's like a too cool for school kind of douchebag guy. I don't know, he doesn't really do much for me. He's a former prison inmate, and he's recruited by the government to help find this scientist so we can cure people before they start dying from this drug. What is this? Some kind of Lazarus?
We call ourselves Lazarus.
God damn it. Each episode of the show ends with a timer countdown that's showing how many days we have left until people start dying from the reactions of Hopna, and that really pushes the narrative that our characters need to act with a sense of urgency and haste in order to save the people of this world. But does the not Suicide Squad of not Cowboy Bebop characters do that? No, of course not. In fact, at the time of filming this video, there are 9 episodes of this show, and we have done almost nothing since the first one. The pace of the show is actually an excruciating crawl, and I swear we get drip-fed tiny little bits of information to the story each episode, and not in a very entertaining way either. And before you comment saying, oh, you should let the show finish before you say it's not good. No, because we're 9 episodes in out of 13 and nothing is going on. Even if episodes 10 through 13 are 10 out of 10 the best thing I've ever seen, that's not gonna excuse the fact that we have done literally nothing. I'm not gonna give it a passing grade if 30% of a series is good and 70% of it is dog shit. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just not. We barely get information about Dr. Skinner. I get the point of the show is trying to find him, but I want to know why he's doing this. This show is episodic, which would not be an issue to me if we weren't constantly pushing that we need to get this done before everybody dies narrative in the background of each episode. But each episode falls under the same formula. Our characters think they have a lead on Dr. Skinner only for it to not actually be a lead, so then they get sidetracked doing some random like JRPG side mission. It's usually not entertaining either. We spend an entire episode with a religious cult. Okay. In my opinion, one of Watanabe's biggest strengths in his series is always the characters. He always makes characters that feel real and characters that I like to connect with. Characters that I truly want to see evolve through the story, and I care deeply about them. The characters in Lazarus, though, these characters are they are all one-dimensional and just flat. I already mentioned Axel, and as far as protagonists go, he is extremely cookie-cutter and as uninteresting as they come. All he does is break out of jail and show off his parkour skills. It feels like his only reason to be here is to just do sick parkour for sick animation. Then there's the rest of the Lazarus team, which, I swear to God, it feels like these characters were intentionally written to not have any chemistry between them because, wow. Elena's the team's hacker girl, and she sure is. And Doug is so devoid of personality that I'm pretty sure his only purpose is to tell people to calm down when tensions are rising. Maybe that's the point. Maybe 5 random criminals that have never met each other are not supposed to have any chemistry at all. They're not supposed to just be buddies and that automatically care about saving the world together. Maybe it was written to just be a strange time. Maybe it was written to be awkward interactions between the characters. Okay, but if that was the vision, it's still not enjoyable to watch. That's a big old swing and a miss for me. I don't understand why this show is so generic and boring. And I swear, the show tries to not be that too. The 8th episode of the show finally has us learn about Chris's character and learn that she's like a Russian spy, a former Russian spy. Are we just doing like a wheel of cliches for this show? Whatever. And the Russian spy past she has feels so unbelievably by the books that it wasn't even trying to be a little bit interesting. It also tries to make me care about a character that's close to Chris, but the show introduced that character to me like 13 minutes ago, and now you want me to care that they're dead? I'm sorry, that's just not gonna happen. Okay, if the story sucks and the characters suck, is the action at least good? It's alright. Like, it's just hard for me to really care about the action in each episode. It's pretty, yeah, but there's nothing to it. And I'm not even sure it always feels like it's fitting in the show, which is weird to say. How are you gonna get the John Wick director to do fights and have mediocre fights? I can't help but shake the feeling that the show is playing by its own rules, and that's the vision for the show. Like, maybe it's not supposed to follow your standard rules for anime. A show that tells the viewers everyone's gonna die and that it's up to the main characters to save everyone. What happens if the select few chosen to save the world just don't do it? It feels like we're starting to get to a point where we're actually gonna have the ending of everybody dies in this show, because it's starting to feel like it wants to ignore its plot completely and just do its own thing. Like, I get vague hints of nihilism from this show's themes, but I'm not even sure if it's portraying that very well. Dr. Skinner obviously questions the morality of humanity if he created a drug that numbs everyone's pain only for it to come around and kill them in a few years. There's such a cool concept in this dystopic world disguised as paradise, and we're doing nothing with it. It's a shame that if the point of the show was to be weird and go in different directions from people's expectations, that it's not doing a good job at all. And if it wasn't meant to be like that, and it was really just meant to be what it is on paper, a mystery about finding this doctor, then it fails at almost every aspect of it. It fails to deliver at being even entertaining. I want to love this show. I was so hyped about it for years. I was so ready for it. I cannot love it. I can't even really bring myself to say I like it very much. I absolutely cannot recommend this show to anybody, and if you wanted to watch Lazarus and you haven't seen Watanabe's other series, just go watch those, because they're so much better than this. As much as I hate to say it, I'm always going to remember Lazarus as one of the biggest letdowns in the history of anime for me, and that hurts. If you've gotten here, thank you so much for watching. I am so sorry if I just destroyed your life, because if you like Lazarus, then I just kind of tore it apart a little bit. Honestly, I'm just sad that I don't like it. I really wish I did. Like I said, I've been hoping for this forever, and for it to just not hit for me in any way makes me upset. Am I just cooked in the head and missed the point of the show completely? Maybe. You can let me know in the comments what you think and whether I'm right or wrong on this. But I have seen quite a few people share the sentiment with me that it's kind of doing nothing, so I don't feel like I'm in the minority for this. And if you do like this show, just know I'm incredibly jealous of you. For now, I guess I'm gonna sit here and hope that Dandadan Season 2 won't let me down, because I need some good anime in my life. And I gotta learn to stop overhyping stuff. That's the moral of today's story. Don't overhype stuff, kids. As for the scientist, Dr. Skinner, we barely know anything about him because, like I said before, we're drip-fed cum. Drip-fed cum? What the fuck? That's fucked up.